Okay, so let's jump in. A couple things that you're going to want to know as far as length and different things like that. This is the Electric 2000 PSI. It comes with a handle and a wand and 3 different nozzles. I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. You can also get other accessible accessories that are available. There's a 5-in-1 nozzle. There's a pressure washer foam blaster you can use for car washing and stuff like that. And then there is also a surface pressure washer. So it's a 12-inch disc. Let's see if I can show you right there. It's a 12-inch disc that you connect on, and then you could do cement, and it kind of goes around. So there's different versions of this. We've talked about this before. This does have the extendable handle. It does come with a 3-year limited warranty. Depending on where you purchase this from, you can add additional years on that. Okay, so straight out of the box, you're going to get your instruction guide. There's not a lot to put together. And really it all just comes in one piece. We'll talk about the lengths of the cords and everything like that. So you've got your power cord. It does not have a grounding wire. It's something that you want to know. And then it has a power button here that is connected. This is 25 feet. Here's your extendable handle, almost like a luggage handle, just a push button right here on the top, and it extends up to probably 18, 30 inches. Here's your wand right here with your nozzle for your cord right here. You've got your water cords here to connect your hose to. So one end would go to your hose, one end goes to the machine and the nozzle. Again, this can go straight into here like this to extend this out, or you can just come straight out of here depending on what you're doing. And then your 2 wheels, which are just going to snap on. So we'll show you how to put those on and go from there. So these are going to be all of your small parts, your pins for your wheels, bolt for the extension, and then basically your how-to guide. So this should be pretty quick, but just want to make sure on these. So I'm going to pause this, turn around and zoom in so I can show you how to put the wheels together, attach the wheels here, the covers here. And then we've got 2 screws. It looks like we're going to need a screwdriver. I was just seeing if that was an Allen wrench, and then you have your locking pins. I'm assuming these are for the wheels, but we'll just double check before we put this all together. So let's pause here and then jump to the installation. Okay, so I might have told you backwards on the length of the cords, and I apologize before we jump into the wheels. So just to double check and make sure that everything is correct, you've got your flow rate is 1.2 gallons per minute. The electrical cord, which is this guy right here, is 35 feet. It does have a GCI protection, the GFCI, and it's on the actual DC outlet. And then you also have the 25-foot hose. The weight total is 29 pounds, and the wheel size are 6 inches. So just a couple things. You've got this kind of linchpin. You've got this big, basically, axle for the wheel. You're going to make sure that this side is like this, goes through here, and then this little pin is going to basically lock in place. So you've got a little bit of mobility there, and then this cap just snaps on. There's 2 holes. And it's just kind of a rubber cap that snaps on in the back. So let's see, where did I have that other little winch pin at? Oh, it's over here. So again, we want this open side to go on the outside because that's where we're going to put the rim or cover, if you will. And then this linchpin kind of locks it into place. Again, we're going to take our cover, just snaps in. Make sure I get it in the right. There we go. Snaps in there. And then we have these 2 screws that came with it. We're going to screw in the base of our handle. And what I am going to do, right, is this just slides all the way down in. And you can see right here we have these 2 holes. It's just going to line up. And you just saw that click. So I'll show you the extender here in just a second. And then we just screw these in. I may fast forward this portion, but I have a lot of kids in the house and they use my stuff all the time, so the drill was not charged. Otherwise I would normally use a drill. So making sure that those are screwed in. Get a little bit more pressure here. I'll get my screwdriver and my drill. I don't want to over tighten these. It's a hard plastic, but I do want it to be secure. So let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole thing here. Just press the little button. This extends right here all the way down. Your 2 extra nozzles are right here. So you've basically got a straight power wash, like laser one, and then you have a little bit of a, this is probably going to be your 15 degree. Yeah. And these just snap right into place like that. So you'll have 1 in the actual nozzle and then 2 that are just housed in the machine. So I'm just going to get this started to show you a little bit spraying, what it looks like, and we'll go from there. Okay, so here's our setup. We've got the hose in the back, the electrical in the back. We've got the hose right here. The electrical is plugged into the wall. It's got the GFCI. Here, I'm not putting any soap in it here. We're just doing some clean off. This part right here is actually going to go into the nozzle. The thing that I really, really like is on the top here. If I can do this with one hand. You've got a quick release. So in here, you've kind of got those little quick release, so you can just grab this, pull it down like this, and then throw it in. I can't do it one hand right here because I'm trying to hold my phone, but let's see if I can get back a little bit like that, and this will just snap into place. You can switch these really, really easily. And then the last piece right here is you're actually going to thread the water nozzle into the wand. And then the wand actually has, you can see that little red thing right there, where you can basically do a constant flow, like if you're doing gas at the gas station, and just have it going. I'm trying to think of a reason that you would want to do that. Maybe it's just because you're doing a sidewalk and you just want it running, and you're just doing a large space, want to go really, really quick. Otherwise, this folds up. You can use here like a gas pump. So let's get cleaning. So again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this green. There's green all along here, kind of this pre-moss stuff that's growing here on our fountain. You can see it's scooting up a little bit towards where the water comes out, where these lights are, right there, because there's, just water runs out. So that's what we're going to be trying to clean. So I'm going to turn on the water, we'll turn on the machine, and show you how it works. Okay, here we go. So I'm actually going to switch the nozzle and try and get a flat. That's probably too big, 15 degree. And there we go. So I know this is probably really loud, which I'm not meaning to be loud, but so I'm going to get a little bit closer and just zoom in so you can kind of see it in action without getting the camera, hopefully. So right down here, we've got all that green stuff. It's right there. That's that. Let me just show you some of the other stuff by the house that we were talking about doing, just that moss that's been dry sitting there for a little while. Let's go over that. So this is all the stuff that we're trying to get rid of. You can see there's some spiders down here, spider webs as well. So there's all the gunk and we are clean. So I'm going to go all the way down. This is not meant to be an ASMR video, but might end up being if you like. Okay, so we just cleaned off all of the rain gutters and this kind of water runoff that goes to a pipe all the way down here. And I wanted to show you the 3 different kind of heads, right? So I'm kind of now just spraying all the dirt, the cement wall, some other stuff. So here, I'm going to show you the 3 different heads. And the first one that we're looking at is right here. This has got an oscillator in it. So it's going to basically create a circle and gives you about 6 to 8 inches on that circle. And so let me show you what that looks like, and then we'll switch over to the other ones. It's going to be a little bit loud. So this is the one that comes on it, right? Remember, we've got this quick release so that we can use 2 hands. Just pop that off. And we've basically got this straight line one, which is the orange one. And I just popped it off. So it's good. Never want to do that. Again, we've got this quick release right here. There we go, heard that snap. See, here's the spray. I really like this one because it can get down in the cracks and clean out all of the stuff in your cracks. Okay, our next one is the blue one, which is a little bit more open. So it looks like this. See there? And this is more of a watering one. There's a lot of water coming out. So yes, there's a ton of pressure, but the stream this is good for watering flowers, different things like that. So I'm actually going to finish cleaning this off, and then I'll give you a final review. And I'm going to use that 15-degree straight line one. I really like this one. The oscillating one is great, but I like this one because it gets inside of these right here, and I can kind of clean these out as we're going through. So I'm going to give you my final thoughts on the whole thing. Things I like, things I didn't like, things that I found when I was putting it together and used. Thanks for watching. Okay, so some final thoughts. So we swept everything off, and you can see right here we've got some lines. I was not trying to clean the cement, right? So I was just trying to get all the dirt off. There's a couple things that we used it for, that I used it for. I spent the afternoon using it. A couple things that I really like. So that 15-degree will actually get in your cement cracks, the ones that are made, not the traditional kind of ones just from old wear and tear, but the ones that are put in when they install or lay the cement. It'll get in between those, and I plan to go actually back and fill these up with something so we don't get weeds and stuff like that. You can see, and I'll show you a couple of examples where it's dry and wet. I do have a lawn edger, but it was really cool because I just went down with the 2000 PSI jet stream from Ryobi, and just cleaned this out and kind of just cut the dirt a little bit more. You can see I did it over here. You can see some of these other marks here. We did clean out all of our rain gutters and stuff like that. So the other thing I wanted to show you is I did kind of test an area of cleaning cement. So you can see here, you can see that line right up there. So I kind of went right down the steps. You can see it right there. And then here's a good example. I just kind of sprayed around my foot with boots on. And you can see, this clean part right here, and then this dirty part of the cement here. So it is capable. Again, you can see right here is where I stopped. There's just this one kind of squiggly line. You can use it to clean cement, bricks. I did right here the curbing, so you can see these 2 pieces of curbing I did, and then I stopped right here on this piece of curbing. So you can use it for a lot of different things. I'm going to turn around and just talk about the machine itself. A couple things that, and again, none of this I use soap on, so I didn't use it to wash my car. I mean, I did spray down my car with water afterwards, but a couple thoughts. So let's jump into my final thoughts. I'll turn around, face the camera, and just talk about some of these things. Okay, you can see I'm covered in mud. I have not showered yet. So final thoughts, a couple things I really like, some things that if I were going to use it as a business or what version I would go with. So as far as cleaning like a driveway and the cement, I did not get the 12-inch oscillating kind of saucer to clean cement. And I think depending on where you live and how much grime and mold or mildew or whatever you have on your cement, that may change what kind of pressure washer you want to get. There is, again, there are bigger ones, there's gas powered ones, there's electric ones that are a little bit bigger. For our needs, this is going to work. We do have a basically three car port. So if I were to do it just with the sprayer and not the oscillator, it would take me a few hours. I think so. That's the next probably thing I'll get is the oscillating, basically cement cleaner. It was really, really good in short distances. I actually took off the whole metal nozzle when I got up on top of the roof to do our rain gutters. And it wasn't necessarily to clean them, it was just to push the water. So the pressure was enough just to push the water down. And then what I did is, because you're right at the end of the tube, I took the whole thing off and then just shoved the tube down just to clean out the rain gutter chute where it goes down into the ground. And so I did both of those. The other thing that it does, it has that 15-degree nozzle, which was great for just kind of moving dirt and moving sand or rocks or leaves or whatever out of the way. That's not one that I would clean with, because again, the spray that you're only cleaning is going to be about 2 to 3 inches depending on how far away you are. So you'd have to go back and forth. So I'm excited to try the oscillator. As far as the mobility, super easy. It was only 29 pounds. It's got the wheels on it, those 6-inch wheels that we talked about. So you can move it around wherever you want. I moved it in my backyard, my front yard. It didn't trip once, right? So the GFCI, I didn't have to reset that at all. Once I got everything put together, you saw, it actually probably took me longer to put together to film this video than it did to actually put together. It's probably 5 minutes tops. And then the other thing that I really like is, depending on the type of hose or pressure you hose, so we have a back valve, so when we turn off the water, it drains all the water off. So when it's plugged in, the water pressure is not pushing it out, it's not leaking at the machine, you're not getting water everywhere. So that was nice. We did have the water on full blast. I used a 75-foot hose. So depending on your home or business or wherever you're at or how you're using this, you may want to get something longer or shorter depending on how far it is around. The things that I would probably change is I would maybe want a longer hose that goes, it's 35 feet, but once you get your hose out at 75 feet, again, another 35 feet. So you're looking at maybe 110 feet. Again, depending on how big your property is or what you're using it for, the connection may run out, right? So the extension cord, which actually wasn't that bad because I could plug it into my garage, but I've only got a couple places outside where I can connect my hose to. And that's why we have 70-foot hoses. I should probably get 100-foot hoses. But overall, that's the one thing, and that's more of a me problem than like an actual design problem. It's got the 2 heavy metal handles on the side, which I like because you can just grab it with one hand, pick it up, lug it around. I have not necessarily put it away or stored it. It's something I'll probably put up on the shelf. So just to give you a list of all the things that we did with it today. So we cleaned off mold, mildew, and moss on pavers, stone, and cement. We cleaned out all of our rain gutters. I sprayed down our cars just from about 15 feet away with the 15-degree mist and just kind of went that way. We also edged we have a stone wall, edged some of our stone wall to get just the dirt and spiders and, just little tiny pebbles that get stuck in there, clean all of those out. And that's something I'm actually going to go back and spray afterwards. We use it to then move all of the dirt out into the street, so that'll just go down the gutter. And then I use it to do some small spaces on the cement where I actually sprayed off and cleaned the cement. Again, I did not use any soap today at all to clean. It was just, I wasn't cleaning a car or doing anything where I would want to have soap. If I was, I would probably do that. It's got the container on the top of the soap. And then the other part is I use that needle thread to water some bushes, right? So the needle, not the needle one, but the one that was kind of just spraying out, was pretty big as far as the hole was. I use that just to, you can see some bushes behind me, just water some bushes. So all in all, super versatile. Again, this is the 2000 PSI. There are different versions of the Ryobi pressure washer. I appreciate you watching all the way through. Hopefully I've explained everything enough to you so that you can make a decision between this and another one, or to get this one. Thanks for watching.